Okay, we're live, Ahmed. So, hello everyone. Welcome to another surprise show of the fan stands with us. It's a surprise because you can see from my hair. I just came back from work. It was a long day. I was asleep, and all of a sudden, I thought, we have to do this video, Ahmed, because this comes to us as a surprise because Frank Lampard has been sacked as the manager of Chelsea, and we've said on the show, especially me, I do not expect Lampard to get the sack before the end of the season, and I'm sure Eamon neither did you. So, what's your reaction on this?
Well, first of all, I'd like to welcome all our fans for this surprise video of sacking Frank Lampard. Yeah, I think I didn't see this coming. Like I told you, maybe Frank Lampard was will be given this season to compete to competition, and he was given a 200 million. He was given a backing of about 200 to 300 million players, and I think they should have given him a whole season. Yeah, I know the result wasn't coming, but this season wasn't a normal season because of the COVID. Most of the Premier Leagues are playing fixture conditions, and because of that, then players don't get that regular rest and exercises and training. So yeah, then you don't get that kind of a perfect performances you expect from these players. Yeah, I think the results were not coming in. Yeah, I think last couple of results weren't going in his favor, but I don't think it was worth of sacking. First of all, I think it all started like I think first of all, if you really want to sack him, you shouldn't have given his job because I think for me, like I said, Mohsin, Frank Lampard for Chelsea job was not for me. I think it was too early for him to take this job because he hardly had any experience with Derby County. He had 1 year experience with him, and then after that, he was given this task of rebuilding Chelsea, and Chelsea management. As you know, they hardly have any patience. If you don't get results in 2 years, they'll sack you. So they should have given him a more time because it's hardly 2 years he had. I think he had 1 year, and in 1 years with all the transfer ban and the kind of he still put up four in top six, and he played some really good football, but I think this season you have given him plenty of good players, and then you
Hmm.
just let him go. So I think it was a very harsh decision for my side, and I don't think so. It's a suitable decision because for a new manager coming in, then I think it's going to be very difficult for him because there will be no preseason, there will be no understanding, and it's a COVID season, so you're having games after 3 or 4 days. It's gonna be difficult, and I think the name coming is Thomas Tuchel. So yeah,
Hmm.
Thomas Tuchel, he has his own problems with the different kind of boards from the teams he coach. Borussia Dortmund, he had problem with the board, and then with PSG, he just couldn't handle the egos of Neymar or Mbappe and other players. So I think it's
Hmm.
going to be very difficult for him for this Chelsea side because this Chelsea management doesn't have any patience. So yeah.
So, Ahmed, some Chelsea fans are arguing. Obviously, Frank Lampard is a legend of not only Chelsea, in fact, of the game. I mean, he's been one of the best players in Europe, one of the very few English players to be, I mean, as good as all the other midfielders who were playing during his time as a player. So some Chelsea fans might feel that, yes, this was harsh, but this is the Chelsea model. It has worked, and it has worked for Abramovich. But I mean, if you remember when Lampard came in, there was a two-season transfer ban, and there was news that he will be given three full seasons, and with transfer backing, once he'll understand the Premier League, the club in 2 seasons. But I think it happened so fast this season. After spending 240, 50 million, he got the players. And Femi, do you think who is to be blamed? I mean, the players because of the axing of Lampard, or his own tactics? What led to his sudden departure?
I think it's a mixture of all things. Uh, First of all, I think I blame Chelsea management for appointing someone who doesn't have too much experience in management. He hardly had any experience. He just retired, and after retirement, he just went with the Derby County job. I think he did decent with them. I think he took them to the playoffs, and I
Mhm.
think all of the talent he had in the Derby County was from the Chelsea loan system.
Mhm.
All the Chelsea academy players used to play with him, Bakayoko and him and his favorite player Mason Mount. So they performed well for him, and I think being impressed by it that if he can manage such a low budgeted team so well, what happens if we give him a good chair? So first of all, I was very shocked with the decision because he's an inexperienced manager, and Chelsea management, like you said, they don't have any kind of patience. They need results in 1 or 2 years. So I think it was a very, I don't think so. It was a good decision. And if you really appointed him, then you should have stuck with him because in the first season he was like he wasn't. There was a transfer ban. He needs to get all the players that used to play for Sari. It wasn't his player. He didn't know what kind of players he needed, but he still implemented his kind of player. He took Timori with him, Mason Mount with him, Tammy Abraham with him. So yeah, all of them performed well. I think all of our given chances. So this season,
Mhm.
even though there's like I said, fixture congestion, that it's not a normal season. You have to play game after 3 or 4 days. Players don't get proper rest. Players don't get to train properly. They just do a couple of drills and they play this. They start playing the game. And because of this, not getting proper rest, we see that the injury crisis and even the corona. Couple of players like Kai Havertz also had
Mhm.
coronavirus couple of times. So it was an abnormal conditions this Premier League is going through. So yeah, I think all these condition, I think Chelsea management should have been patient with him. Just like I think with him, like you can see, Manchester United have been patient with him. FSG has been patient with Klopp, even though he hasn't. They are going on a bad run. So yeah, I
Mhm.
think like I said, even Arteta is going with a bad form. Like he haven't won Premier League for 4 or 5 matches. They still backed
Mhm.
him that he shouldn't go. I don't know why
Mhm.
and it wasn't a bad result for Chelsea. I think they didn't lose too badly against Leicester. I know his tactics hasn't been too good, but it wasn't worth of sacking because he was trying to experiment with the players. Yeah, I know some of his team selection has been questionable, but still, I think it's not that as a new manager, you always experiment with the team and everything. You check which starting 11 should I play, which team should I pick, and I think that's where that's the difference between a good manager and an inexperienced manager comes in. That he knows that
Mhm.
what kind of a starting 11 he needs, what kind of a players he needs. So yeah, I
Mhm.
think that inexperience really cost him. As for the players, yeah, there is some kind of a role for him as well. Like if they don't perform, like I think Timo Werner, who hasn't been performing well for him, so I think Frank Lampard hasn't been too reliant on him. He still goes to Giroud or Timo Werner, Tammy Abraham for goals. Other than that,
Mhm.
his habit of picking Mason Mount as it really, I think, has been really, even though he's a good player, but I
So,
think
the,
Pulisic or Hakim Ziyech, actually, I preferred more of them than I think Mason Mount.
Mason Mount.
Then,
So Ahmed,
yeah,
we have a comment from Taimur Nadeem, who is in charge for organizing. He's part of the Liverpool fan base in Pakistan. He organizes events in Karachi. So the comment is too big. If I bring it on the screen, it hides our beautiful faces. But I'm trying to find humor. I'm shocked as a neutral. This is shocking. But he says Lampard isn't very. I'll just sum it up very quickly that he needs 2 3 years to grow as a manager. You cannot give 300 million to a novice manager and expect results If this amount was given to Ancelotti or Mourinho, they would not have been placed, I think, ninth in the Premier League. Do you agree?
Definitely, like I said, I think the management job for Frank Lampard was too big. I think
Hmm.
he should have gone to he should have stayed coaching with Derby County and might have gained couple of experience, just like Steven Gerrard is doing right now. He started on a
Hmm.
very low level, he knows that Scottish Premier League isn't too big step for him. Like
Hmm.
they only have Rangers, Celtic, and
Celtic.
couple of and Aberdeen and a couple of more clubs. So the pressure
Hmm.
wasn't too much for them. If he lost against
Okay.
Celtic, people wouldn't have said that. But he's performing well because the expectations are very low. Rangers fan
Hmm.
wouldn't have expected that they would win this league with 13 or 14 points ahead of them. So the expectations were low. So Gerrard really performed very well. With Lampard, the expectations were very high. If you are given a Premier League team, the expectation is always high. You always, especially with Chelsea, with the kind of a they have been a very formidable team in the London right now. I think they
Hmm.
surpass Arsenal in couple of trophies and competition. They also surpassed Spurs in
Hmm.
their rivals. So the pressure was always on him. But I think
Ahmed, now Tuchel is rumored to become the Chelsea manager. We're going to go in detail after he is actually announced, and probably in the next live video, we will talk about what you think about Tuchel. But what is next for Lampard? Will he continue management? Do you see him coming back to Chelsea one day? Where should Lampard go now?
I think he won't be coming back to Chelsea for quite some time. I think he should go to Championship, or even I think he should go for Scottish Premier League. So he should start somewhere low, somewhere that the expectations are not too much for him to hinder the progress. He should learn the basics. He should start with the academic players. He shouldn't be given too much he should just like how Wayne Rooney and all the other and
Hmm.
Steven Gerrard are doing right now. He should start from learn the basics, then then increase his advance towards the next, then take a mid tier team in a Premier League, then come back to Chelsea when he has enough experience for him. I think
Hmm.
definitely he's a good manager. What I have seen from him, even in when he was coaching Derby County or even in the first year in Chelsea, he's very good with the academic players. Like he really bring out the talent with Mason Mount and Timori and Tammy Abraham. The problem I think he had was that when the with the good players, with the players who he had expectations for them, I think he has to learn learn with the time, and maybe we can see a really good coach in him.
Okay, let's hope. I'll try to answer this one. I think Fabrizio Romano confirmed that Allegri was not approached by Chelsea. There are rumors that they tried to have talks with Nagelsmann, but Leipzig said that nothing before the season ends, and Nagelsmann would not have joined before the summer. And Brendan Rodgers at Leicester was also candidate. Rumors, not sure, but I don't think he'll leave that Leicester project. Allegri, yes. Thomas Tuchel, I have my reservations as well. I don't agree with the hype he gets, but he's not an easy character to handle. Like Ahmed mentioned a few minutes earlier, that he's been very vocal, kind of similar to what Antonio Conte was and is Chelsea and Inter. So he's same. He's very vocal if he doesn't like anything. But I feel Ahmed, correct me. I think Tuchel lacks man management. He's more of a tactician than a man manager. I think right now you need someone like Zidane or Allegri type manager who can control that dressing. And it's not the dressing room, but need to be very assertive and be straightforward with the players. You don't perform, you don't play, which was kind of not the case when Lampard was there. I mean, we saw Mason Mount not being consistent, but he was in the lineup every time.
Yeah, definitely. I think they would have really needed some kind of a I think he's a good technician, Thomas Tuchel. I think they will have a couple of. I think they will turn it around. I think he will turn it around for him. But the problem
Mhm.
with Tuchel is when the things go bad for him, he has a habit of then blaming not only the players but also the management. And like I said, it didn't work in Borussia Dortmund. He had issue with
Mhm.
Vasquez because of the transfer policies and how the big players didn't perform for him. He had the same problem with Leonardo, the sporting director. Leonardo
Mhm.
didn't like him because he wasn't his first choice, and
Mhm.
all the big players like Neymar and Mbappe wouldn't listen to him. They just there was an incident like before I think a Champions League match. Neymar and Mbappe went to Disney World and didn't inform him that they were going to him. So the lack of respect from the players from him, I think he just couldn't handle.
It's
So
it's tough, Ahmed. You know, Neymar and Mbappe were actually directly in contact with the president in Qatar, so
yeah.
you can't do anything about it. So let's
So
see. Yeah, yeah. Please continue.
yeah, definitely. Look, if he can, like, he doesn't have any problem with Chelsea management, Chelsea board. If he can just do his job, bring out the best of the players, then I think he will be sticking around more than a year or two. But if he starts,
More than
if he,
see, you just said more than a year or two. I just had a conversation with an Arsenal friend, and I believe 2022 max we can see of Tuchel. That's the Chelsea model. But if he brings continuous success, let's see. But Ahmed, this is not going to be similar to what Tuchel was facing in German league or French league. You know, he just had maybe one rival, but over here, you know, there's so many clubs who are
yeah,
trying to compete for the top four
definitely.
spots.
Definitely, even the relegation teams can upset you when when you are having a bad time. So definitely,
Hmm.
I think Chelsea will perform well for one or two matches because of that new manager motivation. After then,
Plus,
I think
also, sorry, I'm interrupting. Plus, also the rumors that you know, because his German connections, he'll be able to connect well with Havertz and Werner.
yeah, let's
Tuchel.
see. Yeah, I think let's see. I think we will analyze the first three games how he performs, and we'll talk about him definitely in detail.
Sure.
Like, is he the Narayan manager for the Chelsea right now?
Sure, we will. So, Ahmed, thank you so much. And guys, do watch, like, share, and subscribe. So, this is a short video. We just want to break the news. I'm sure every one of you are aware that Lampard has been sacked. So, if there's any other video, we'll try to make these short videos. If there's anything else you want us to discuss, so we'll try our best to leave us in the comment section. We still have the
Definitely.
video due to talk about Mesut Ozil, and although Galatasaray is my team in Turkey, but Ahmed, I'm tempted to get that Fenerbahce shirt now from somewhere.
No, definitely. I think that oval shirt really looks good on you, I guess.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, Ahmed, thank you so much for your insightful views. So let's see. I wish we wish all the very best to Frank Lampard, and good luck to
Definitely.
Thomas Tuchel for the Chelsea job.
Yeah, definitely. Good luck. Take care, Mohsin.
Okay,
See you. See
take
you
care.
next time.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye.